Do you ever feel a subtle, nagging friction between the spiritual path you walk and the practical demands of your financial life? A quiet conflict that whispers, if I truly seek higher consciousness, shouldn't I be less concerned with money? It's a sentiment that has long kept so many beautiful souls tethered, feeling guilty for their desires, or worse, believing that true spiritual fulfillment and financial abundance are mutually exclusive. But what if I told you that this perceived war is entirely optional? What if the very discipline you fear is actually the sacred key to unlocking a prosperity that nourishes your soul as much as it fills your coffers? Welcome, fellow alchemists, to a profound exploration that promises to redefine your relationship with money. We are here today to embark on a journey that bridges the perceived chasm between the spiritual and the material. My name is Elias Vance, and through this audiobook, we will uncover the alchemical secrets that transform financial discipline from a restrictive chore into a sacred act of stewardship. As you listen, pay attention to the wisdom unfolding. On the left, you'll find our curated playlist, Start Here, the Foundations of Abundance, to ground you in our core philosophies. And on the right, I have personally selected our guide, Mind Over Money, Guided Meditations and Affirmations, as the perfect next step to deepen your practice. Trust the guidance that resonates with your soul. Chapter 1. The Inner Conflict, Spirit versus Scarcity's Whisper Greetings, Alchemists. Today, we begin our sacred journey not with ledger sheets or stock tickers, but within the most fertile ground of all, your consciousness. Many of you have found your way here because you sense a deeper truth, a potential for wealth that feels aligned with your spiritual values. Yet there's often a persistent whisper, a subtle internal resistance that suggests these two worlds, spirituality and financial prosperity, are at odds. This perceived conflict is the very first myth we must alchemize. We are taught to pursue spiritual enlightenment, to detach from material possessions, to seek inner peace above all else. And in this noble pursuit, many arrive at a subconscious conclusion that wanting money, actively cultivating it, is somehow wrong. It's seen as materialistic, as a sign of spiritual immaturity, or even as a distraction from our true purpose. This creates a deep inner dissonance. On one hand, you have your spiritual aspirations, your desire for peace, contribution, and connection. On the other, you have the very real needs of life, security, comfort, the ability to provide for yourself and your loved ones, and the freedom to pursue your passions. When these two desires feel like they're pulling in opposite directions, you're left in a state of perpetual internal negotiation, often resulting in a subtle sabotage of your own financial well-being. You might find yourself consciously desiring abundance, but unconsciously repelling it through ingrained beliefs about money being dirty, greedy, or unattainable for those on a spiritual path. This is the fertile ground for guilt. Guilt for wanting more, guilt for having less, guilt for the perceived judgment of others, or even the judgment of your own higher self. It's a cycle that keeps so many beautiful souls stuck in a place of scarcity, unable to fully embrace the abundance that is their birthright. Debunking the myth. Let's be clear, the pursuit of spiritual growth does not necessitate a rejection of material well-being. In fact, throughout history, many enlightened beings and spiritual traditions have recognized the power of abundance not as an end in itself, but as a tool for contribution, for service, for spreading light and love more widely. Think of the great philanthropists, the spiritual leaders who built institutions, the artists and healers whose work enriched the world. Were they less spiritual because they commanded resources? Or did their resources empower them to enact greater good? The idea that spirit and substance are enemies is a construct, a deeply ingrained societal belief, and often a subconscious defense mechanism born from past experiences of financial struggle or the observation of others' negative experiences with wealth. True spirituality is about alignment, about wholeness, And true wholeness encompasses all aspects of your being, including your physical and financial reality. To deny one aspect is to live in fragmentation, not freedom. The universe itself is abundant. From the countless stars in the cosmos to the infinite potential within each of us, abundance is the fundamental nature of existence. To reject abundance in our lives is, in essence, to reject a reflection of the divine. It's a misunderstanding of the alchemical principle that spirit and matter are not separate, but rather different expressions of the same underlying energy. Your financial life is not separate from your spiritual life. It is a manifestation of it. If you are experiencing lack, it's not a sign of spiritual failure, but an invitation to explore the beliefs and energies that are currently shaping your reality. The cost of the conflict. The internal conflict between spirituality and the desire for financial freedom exacts a heavy toll. It manifests as subconscious sabotage. You might find yourself unconsciously making poor financial decisions, procrastinating on important financial tasks, or avoiding opportunities for growth, all driven by a fear of being too worldly. Energy drain. Constantly wrestling with guilt and conflicting beliefs consumes immense mental and emotional energy that could otherwise be directed towards creation and fulfillment. Limited contribution. When you're struggling financially, your capacity to contribute to your family, your community, and the world at large is significantly diminished. True abundance empowers you to give more freely and impactfully. Missed opportunities. You may overlook lucrative opportunities because they feel too commercial or not spiritual enough, thereby limiting your potential for growth and service. A distorted view of worth. You can begin to equate your spiritual worth with your lack of material success, believing that poverty is a sign of virtue. This is a dangerous illusion that robs you of your inherent deservingness. Moving towards integration. The path forward is not to suppress your desire for money, but to alchemize your relationship with it. It's about understanding that money is a form of energy, a neutral tool that can be used for incredible good or for less noble purposes. The intention and consciousness you bring to its acquisition and use are what matter. This is where sacred stewardship comes in. It's the conscious, intentional, and value-aligned management of your financial resources, viewing them not just as personal gain, but as an extension of your spiritual purpose and your capacity to contribute to the world. This audiobook will guide you through the process of healing these inner conflicts, releasing the guilt, and stepping into a state of empowered abundance. Chapter 2. Alchemy as a Metaphor. Transforming lead into gold. The ancient art of alchemy is more than just a historical footnote. It's a profound metaphor for transformation, and it holds the key to understanding how we can transmute our current financial realities into something far more prosperous and aligned. The alchemists sought to turn base metals, like lead, into precious gold. This wasn't just about material wealth. It was about a spiritual quest, a journey of purification and perfection. They understood that within the seemingly mundane and imperfect lay the potential for something sublime. They believed that through specific processes, catalysts, and a deep understanding of the elements, transformation was not only possible, but inevitable. We too can apply these alchemical principles to our financial lives. The elements of financial alchemy. Think of the alchemical process as having several key stages, each with a direct parallel in our financial journey. The nigredo, blackening decomposition. This is the stage of breakdown, of confronting the shadows, the darkness, the impurities. In financial terms, this is where we acknowledge our limiting beliefs, our money blocks, our guilt and our fears. It's the uncomfortable but necessary step of recognizing the lead in our financial lives. The patterns of scarcity, the subconscious resistance, the inherited beliefs that are holding us back. It's looking at your bank account and feeling not shame, but a clear-eyed understanding of what needs to be transformed. This is not about dwelling in darkness, but about acknowledging it so it can be dissolved. If you're feeling overwhelmed by your financial situation, that's the nigredo at play. It's a sign you're ready to begin the transformation, the albedo, whitening purification. After the breakdown comes purification. This is where we cleanse ourselves of the impurities. Financially, this involves actively healing money blocks, releasing shame and guilt associated with past financial mistakes or inherited beliefs, and purifying our intentions. It's about washing away the negative energetic residue that clings to our money story. This stage often involves practices like journaling, forgiveness rituals, and self-compassion. It's about recognizing that your past financial experiences do not define your future, and actively choosing to cleanse your energetic field. I remember speaking with a client who felt an overwhelming sense of shame every time she looked at her credit card statements. She'd inherited a belief that debt was a moral failing, a personal flaw. Through alchemical introspection, what I call the forgiveness ledger ritual, she began to release that judgment. She saw that debt was simply a tool, sometimes misused, sometimes misunderstood, but not a reflection of her inherent worth. By purifying her perspective, she opened the door to more conscious financial choices. The citrinitas, yellowing, illumination. This stage represents a dawning of light, a partial transformation where the pure elements begin to reveal themselves. Financially, this is when you start to see the fruits of your inner work. You begin to notice shifts in your mindset, a lifting of the financial fog, and a greater sense of worthiness and deservingness. It's when affirmations start to feel less like affirmations and more like lived truths. You might find yourself naturally drawn to more conscious stewardship and inspired action. This is the stage where your desire for abundance feels less like a desperate chase and more like a natural flow. You're not quite gold yet, but the radiant yellow hints at the magnificence to come. The rubedo, reddening glorification. This is the final stage, the achievement of the philosopher's stone, the transmutation into pure gold. In our financial alchemy, this is the state of sustainable abundance, where your relationship with money is harmonious, effortless, and deeply aligned with your spiritual purpose. You possess not just wealth, but wealth consciousness. You understand that money is a tool to amplify your impact, to serve others, and to live a life of purpose and fulfillment. It's a state of being where financial discipline is no longer a struggle, but a natural expression of your integrated self. You are living the alchemical promise, turning the lead of scarcity into the gold of abundant contribution. The alchemical process is you. The most crucial understanding of alchemy is this: the transformation doesn't happen to you. It happens through you. You are the alchemist. The base metals are your current beliefs, your fears, your habits. The catalysts are the conscious awareness, the intentional practices, the willingness to look deeply within. The gold is your inherent divine potential for abundance, waiting to be realized. This audiobook is your guide, your blueprint, and your catalyst. Together, we will undertake this alchemical journey. Chapter 3. Understanding financial discipline as sacred stewardship. For many, the term financial discipline conjures images of strict budgets, deprivation, and relentless self-denial. It sounds cold, mechanical, and utterly devoid of spirit. But what if we reframe this concept entirely? What if, instead of seeing discipline as a form of restriction, we understood it as sacred stewardship? This is a fundamental shift in perspective, one that moves us from a place of external control to one of internal alignment and reverence. Stewardship, a spiritual foundation. The concept of stewardship is deeply rooted in spiritual and ethical traditions across the globe. It implies responsibility, care, and a wise management of resources entrusted to you. A steward is not the owner, but a caretaker, acting on behalf of a higher principle or a greater purpose. When we apply this to our finances, it means viewing our money not as something to be hoarded or frantically chased, but as a precious resource given to us to manage wisely. This resource can be used to sustain yourself and your loved ones. Providing for basic needs, comfort, and security is a primary act of stewardship. It's about ensuring your own well-being so you can then focus on higher purposes, contribute to the world, using your abundance to support causes you believe in, to empower others, to create positive change. This is the outward expression of responsible stewardship. Further, your own growth and development, investing in your education, your health, your spiritual practices, your creative endeavors. This is stewarding your own potential. Leave a positive legacy. Considering how your financial resources can benefit future generations or contribute to a better world is the ultimate form of long-term stewardship. Discipline as devotion. In this context, financial discipline transforms from a rigid set of rules into a devotional practice. It becomes an act of reverence for the energy of money and its potential. Discipline, when rooted in stewardship, is not about punishment. It's about purpose. It's about making conscious choices that honor your values, your goals, and your deepest aspirations. Think about it. Budgeting, seen as stewardship. Budgeting isn't about limiting what you can have, but about intentionally directing your resources towards what truly matters to you. It's about aligning your spending with your soul's priorities, not just your fleeting desires. It's a conscious allocation of energy, saving. This is not about deprivation, but about building a foundation of security and freedom. It's about creating the space for inspired action, for opportunities to arise without the pressure of immediate need. Saving is a testament to your trust in the future and your ability to create it. Investing. This is the ultimate act of stewardship, where you intentionally grow the resources entrusted to you. It's about understanding that money can be a generative force, capable of creating more wealth, more opportunities, and more capacity to serve. Spiritual investing, which we'll touch on later, takes this a step further, ensuring your growth also contributes to the greater good. The shift from urgency to intent. When we move from a scarcity mindset driven by fear and urgency to a stewardship mindset driven by purpose and intention, our entire approach to money changes. We stop chasing, we start creating, we stop reacting, we start responding consciously. This shift requires a new level of awareness and a willingness to be present with our financial energy. It means understanding that every dollar spent, saved or invested is an energetic transaction, a reflection of our inner state and our commitment to our values. My own awakening to stewardship. I recall a period early in my career where I was purely driven by acquisition. The chase was on, and discipline meant aggressively cutting costs to maximize profit. It felt like a constant uphill battle, an exhausting exertion of willpower. My relationship with money was one of acquisition, not reverence. It wasn't until I experienced a significant business setback, forcing me to reevaluate everything, that the concept of stewardship truly resonated. I realized that true wealth wasn't just about accumulation, but about responsible management and purposeful distribution. I began to see my financial resources as a trust, a gift that empowered me to serve. This shift transformed discipline from a burden into a sacred practice, a way of honoring the energy of abundance and directing it with intention. It wasn't about less, it was about more meaning, practical application of stewardship. Define your soul-aligned priorities. What truly matters to you? What are your core spiritual values? List them out, align your spending. Consciously decide where your money goes. Does your spending reflect your priorities, or do your priorities need to catch up with your spending? View your bank account as a sacred trust, Approach your money with respect and intention. Every transaction is an energetic exchange. Embrace conscious budgeting. See your budget not as a restriction, but as a sacred map, guiding your energy towards what nourishes you and allows you to contribute. Financial discipline, when understood as sacred stewardship, becomes a profound spiritual practice. It's an act of devotion, a commitment to living in alignment with your highest values, and a powerful way to manifest a life of true, sustainable abundance. Chapter 4. The role of mindfulness in money management. We've explored the inner conflict and reframed financial discipline as sacred stewardship. Now let's bring this sacredness into our everyday interactions with money. The key to making financial discipline a spiritual practice rather than a chore lies in the power of mindfulness. Mindfulness isn't about emptying your mind. It's about bringing your full, non-judgmental awareness to the present moment. When applied to money management, it transforms mundane tasks into opportunities for presence, insight, and deeper connection. Mindfulness, the alchemist's lens for money. Imagine approaching your bank statement not with dread, but with curiosity. Imagine paying bills, not with a sigh, but with gratitude for the services and goods they represent. This is the essence of mindful money management. It means awareness of your thoughts and emotions. Before you spend, before you save, before you invest, what are you thinking and feeling? Are you acting from a place of scarcity, impulse, or peace? Mindfulness allows you to observe these inner states without immediately acting on them. This is crucial for breaking free from reactive financial habits. Presence in transactions. When you swipe your card, make a transfer, or even withdraw cash, can you be fully present? Can you acknowledge the energetic exchange happening? This simple act of awareness can interrupt automatic, unconscious spending patterns, non-judgmental observation. Mindfulness teaches us to observe our financial habits and decisions without harsh self-criticism. If you overspend, instead of berating yourself, you simply acknowledge it, learn from it, and gently redirect your energy. This self-compassion is vital for lasting change, appreciation for what you have. Mindfulness cultivates gratitude. By consciously appreciating the resources you currently possess, the roof over your head, the food on your table, the comfort your money provides, you shift your energy from lack to abundance. This gratitude can fundamentally alter your financial trajectory. Interrupting the autopilot. Most of our financial decisions are made on autopilot, driven by habit, emotion, or external triggers. Mindfulness acts as an interrupt. It's that moment of pause between the impulse and the action. The impulse buy. You see something you want. Mindfulness asks, why do I want this? Is this a genuine need or an emotional response? What is the energetic exchange happening here? This pause can reveal whether the desire stems from true fulfillment or a temporary void. Checking your bank balance. Instead of a quick, anxious glance, mindfulness invites you to approach it with calm awareness. What does the number represent? What story is it telling? What opportunities does it present? Paying bills. This is a powerful moment for stewardship. As you transfer funds, can you feel gratitude for the electricity powering your home, the internet connecting you, the services that enrich your life? This shift from obligation to appreciation imbues the transaction with spiritual energy. Practical mindfulness exercises for your finances. The mindful spending pause. Before any non-essential purchase over a certain amount, you define this, take 3 deep breaths. Ask yourself, is this purchase truly aligned with my soul's priorities and my financial stewardship goals? If the answer is a hesitant yes, proceed with gratitude. If it's a no, gently release the impulse. The Gratitude Journal for Resources. Dedicate a small journal to listing things you are grateful for that your money provides. It could be as simple as a warm cup of tea, a comfortable bed, or the ability to connect with loved ones online. mindful bill payment as you pay each bill. Mentally or even whisper, offer a word of gratitude for the service or product. For example, as you pay your electricity bill, say, "Thank you for the light and warmth this electricity provides." The money meditation. Spend 5 to 10 minutes each day focusing on your breath, and then bring your awareness to your financial energy. Visualize it as a flowing river of light. Observe any blockages or stagnant areas without judgment, and gently visualize them dissolving. Mindfulness, the bridge to worthiness. By practicing mindfulness in your financial life, you begin to cultivate a sense of inherent worthiness. You move away from associating your value with the amount of money you have, and towards recognizing your intrinsic worth as a spiritual being. This mindful presence fosters a calmer, more empowered approach to money management. It's the foundation upon which all other practices of abundance are built, ensuring that your journey is not just about acquiring wealth, but about living a life of deep, conscious, and fulfilling abundance. Chapter 5. Practical habits rooted in spiritual values. We've established that financial discipline can be sacred stewardship, and that mindfulness is the lens through which we bring spirit into our financial interactions. Now let's translate this wisdom into tangible, practical habits that are deeply rooted in our spiritual values. These aren't just good financial habits. They are soul-aligned financial habits, actions that reflect your deepest truths and contribute to your overall well-being. Habit 1. Soul-aligned budgeting, the energetic map. Spiritual principle, alignment, conscious allocation of energy. Beyond the numbers, a traditional budget focuses on restriction. A soul-aligned budget focuses on intention. It's an energetic map of where you choose to direct your resources, reflecting your spiritual priorities. How to practice. Identify your core values. What truly matters to your spirit? Contribution, learning, creativity, connection, health. Categorize with soul in mind, instead of just entertainment. Consider joyful expression or soulful nourishment instead. Of miscellaneous, consider spontaneous. Blessings or spiritual expansion, allocate with gratitude. As you assign funds to each category, do so with a sense of gratitude for the ability to provide for these aspects of your life. Regular review. Periodically check in with your energetic map, your budget. Does it still accurately reflect your soul's current priorities? Adjust as needed with grace and awareness. Habit 2. Conscious saving, building a foundation of freedom, the spiritual principle. Trust, future creation, security, freedom, beyond deprivation. Saving is not about denying yourself present joys for a future that may never come. It's about building a reservoir of energetic freedom, a safety net that allows for inspired action rather than desperate reaction. How to practice. Define your freedom fund. Purpose. Is it for spontaneous travel to support a loved one? To invest in a soul-aligned business idea? To have the peace of mind to pursue your creative passions? Let the purpose be spiritually resonant. Automate your savings. Set up automatic transfers from your checking to a dedicated savings account each payday. This removes the need for constant willpower and ensures consistency. View this as a daily offering to your future self. Celebrate milestones. Acknowledge and celebrate achieving savings goals. This reinforces the positive energy around saving and demonstrates your worthiness of abundance. Habit 3. Soulful spending, the art of energetic exchange. The spiritual principle, reverence, gratitude, conscious contribution. Beyond consumerism, every purchase is an energetic exchange. Mindful spending ensures this exchange is conscious, grateful, and aligned with your values. How to practice. The need versus want. Nuance. This isn't about rigid denial, but about discerning whether a want truly serves your soul's growth or is a temporary emotional fix. The gratitude scan. Before clicking buy or handing over cash, take a moment to feel gratitude for the product or service, the person who created it, and the energy of money you are exchanging. Ethical consumption. Where possible, support businesses and individuals whose values align with yours. Your spending becomes a vote for the world you wish to see. Conscious treats. If you choose to indulge, do so with full presence and gratitude, not guilt. Make it a conscious act of self-care that nourishes your spirit. Habit 4. Purposeful investing. Growing your abundance with integrity. The spiritual principle. Growth. Multiplication, contribution, legacy, beyond pure profit. Investing is about planting seeds and watching them grow. When done with spiritual values, it's about cultivating abundance that not only benefits you, but also the world. How to practice. Educate yourself. Understand where your money is going. This is stewardship at its highest level, knowing the impact of your resources. Consider ethical impact investing. Explore investment opportunities that align with your values. Companies focused on sustainability, social good, innovation that benefits humanity. This amplifies your positive impact. Long-term vision. Investing is a marathon, not a sprint. It requires patience and trust, mirroring the patience required in spiritual growth. View it as tending a garden. Habit 5. The forgiveness ledger ritual, as introduced briefly. The spiritual principle. Release. Healing. Self-compassion. Beyond holding grudges. This ritual is about consciously releasing past financial judgments and mistakes, both yours and those inherited. How to practice. Set aside time. Find a quiet space, perhaps with a journal. List financial mistakes. Write down any past financial decisions or situations that carry guilt or shame. Be specific but non-judgmental. Reframe with compassion. For each item, write a reframed statement from a place of wisdom and compassion. For example, instead of, "I wasted so much money on that impulse buy," write, "I was seeking comfort and learning about my desires through that purchase." Symbolic release. You might choose to ceremonially burn the list, bury it, or simply tear it up and release it to the wind, symbolizing the release of energetic baggage. This is a powerful act of self-forgiveness, opening the door to new abundance. These habits are not rigid rules. They are flexible, evolving practices. They are the alchemical tools that allow you to consciously shape your financial reality in alignment with your deepest spiritual truths. They are the manifestation of sacred stewardship in action. Chapter 6, Healing Money. Resistance, releasing guilt and shame. We've touched upon guilt and shame, but it's crucial to dedicate specific attention to these powerful energetic blockages. Money resistance often stems from deeply ingrained feelings of guilt and shame that prevent us from receiving or holding on to abundance. These emotions are heavy, they weigh us down, and they create an energetic barrier between us and the prosperity we desire. To truly become alchemists of abundance, we must learn to heal these wounds, understanding guilt and shame around money. Guilt often stems from a belief that we have done something wrong in relation to money. This could be spending too much, earning unethically in our own or society's eyes, or even simply desiring money when we feel we don't deserve it. Shame is a deeper, more corrosive emotion that tells us we are fundamentally flawed or unworthy. Shame around money often whispers, "I am poor because I am a failure," or "I am greedy and therefore a bad person." It's a judgment on our very being. These emotions are not just feelings. They are energetic signatures that actively repel abundance. The universe responds to our dominant energetic frequency, and shame and guilt broadcast a frequency of lack, unworthiness, and not enough. Where do these feelings come from? Inherited beliefs. We absorb our families' and culture's attitudes towards money. If your upbringing was marked by financial struggle or guilt about wealth, You likely carry those energetic imprints. Societal conditioning. We are often told that money is the root of all evil, that the rich are corrupt, and that true spirituality requires poverty. This conditioning can deeply embed shame about desiring or possessing wealth. Past experiences. Personal financial mistakes, perceived failures, or traumatic experiences related to money can leave deep energetic wounds. Spiritual misinterpretations. As discussed earlier, the idea that detachment from the material world means rejecting wealth can lead to guilt for having desires that seem worldly. The alchemical healing process. Healing these deep-seated patterns requires a conscious alchemical approach. It's not about ignoring the feelings, but about transforming them. Awareness shining a light on the shadows. The first step is always acknowledgement. Become aware of when guilt or shame surfaces around money. What triggers it? What thoughts accompany it? Simply observing these feelings without judgment is a powerful act of defiance against their hold. Self-reflection prompt. When you think about increasing your income or making a significant purchase, what specific feeling or thought arises that feels negative or heavy? 2. Releasing the story. The forgiveness ledger ritual. Expanded. This ritual, which we touched upon, is crucial. It's about separating the event from your identity. The process. List the specifics. Write down the financial situations that evoke guilt or shame. Be factual. I overspent on X. I made a poor investment in Y. I felt shame when my parents spoke about our financial struggles. Identify the underlying belief. For each situation, ask, what was the belief I was holding about myself or money at that time? E.g., I am irresponsible. I am not worthy of abundance. Money is a source of conflict. Radical forgiveness. For each item, consciously choose to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for the action, for the belief, for the feeling. This is not about excusing the behavior, but about releasing the energetic charge attached to it. You can say, I forgive myself for situation belief. I release the energetic charge of guilt and shame associated with this, and I choose to embody worthiness. Symbolic release. As mentioned, physically releasing the written pages, burning, burying, tearing, can be a powerful psychological and energetic act. It signifies letting go. Cultivating worthiness. The mirror of resonance. Guilt and shame erode our sense of worthiness. We must actively cultivate it. The practice. Stand in front of a mirror. Look yourself directly in the eyes. Begin to affirm your inherent worthiness, not based on your financial status, but on your existence as a divine spark. Affirmations. Start gently. I am worthy of love. I am worthy of peace. As you feel more comfortable, introduce money-related affirmations. I am worthy of financial abundance. I am worthy of a prosperous life. My worth is not tied to my bank balance. Feel the emotion. The key is not just saying the words, but feeling them. Feel the truth of your worthiness resonating within you. If resistance arises, acknowledge it, breathe, and return to the affirmation with compassion. This practice gradually recalibrates your energetic frequency to one of deservingness. Embodying abundance frequency. Shame and guilt broadcast a frequency of not enough. We need to consciously broadcast a frequency of more than enough. This involves practicing gratitude. As we've discussed, gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing to what's present. A daily gratitude practice, specifically for what your money provides, is incredibly potent. Acts of generosity. Giving from a place of abundance rather than obligation or a desire for approval can powerfully counteract feelings of lack and shame. It affirms your capacity to create and share, surrounding yourself with abundance. This doesn't mean living in excess. It means choosing environments, people, and experiences that uplift you and resonate with a higher frequency. Healing money guilt and shame is not a one-time event. It's an ongoing alchemical process. By consciously engaging with these emotions, releasing their hold, and cultivating a deep sense of worthiness, you dismantle the energetic barriers that have been preventing your abundant flow. You are not what you possess, nor what you lack. You are a divine being inherently worthy of all good things. Chapter 7. Cultivating Worthiness and Abundance. Frequency. We've delved into the spiritual conflict, the alchemical metaphor, stewardship, mindfulness, and the crucial work of healing resistance. Now we solidify our foundation by actively cultivating worthiness and the abundance frequency. These are not merely abstract concepts. They are energetic states that directly influence our capacity to attract and sustain wealth. If guilt and shame are the energetic signatures of lack, then worthiness and abundance frequency are the energetic signatures of receiving. Worthiness, the divine right to receive. Worthiness is the deep, unshakable knowing that you are deserving of good simply by virtue of your existence. It's not something you earn, it's something you embody. When it comes to money, feeling worthy means believing you deserve financial comfort, freedom, and the ability to live a life of purpose and joy. The core problem: many people operate from a subconscious belief that they must earn their worthiness. They believe they need to achieve a certain income, pay off all debt, or perform a certain number of good deeds before they can truly consider themselves worthy of financial ease. This is a trap. Worthiness is not conditional. Cultivating inner worthiness, affirmations with feeling, as discussed in the Mirror of Resonance, affirmations are powerful, but they must be accompanied by emotion. I am worthy of financial abundance is not just words. It's a declaration of truth that you must feel in your being. When resistance arises, gently acknowledge it and return to the feeling of deserving. Acts of self-care. Prioritize your well-being. Engage in activities that nourish your body, mind, and spirit. When you invest in yourself, you are sending a powerful message to the universe and yourself that you are worth caring for. This includes financial self-care, like setting up that savings plan or investing in your education. Radical self-acceptance. Embrace all parts of yourself, including your past financial mistakes. They are not indicators of your inherent worth, but lessons learned on your journey. Accepting your humanity frees you to move forward with grace. Receiving gracefully. Practice accepting compliments, help, and gifts without deflection or self-deprecation. When someone offers you something, a simple "thank you, I accept" is a powerful affirmation of worthiness. This translates to financial receiving, abundance frequency, the energetic signature of receiving. Abundance frequency is the energetic state of already having what you desire, or at least vibrating at the same frequency as your desires. It's about projecting an energetic signature that says, I am a match for prosperity. The energetic law of attraction. The universe responds to vibration. If you are vibrating at a frequency of lack, you will attract more lack. If you are vibrating at a frequency of abundance, you will attract more abundance. How to tune your frequency. Gratitude as a tuner. As we've emphasized, gratitude is one of the most powerful abundance frequency accelerators. Regularly focus on what you already have, what your money provides, and the blessings in your life. This shifts your internal state from scarcity to fullness. Envisioning with emotion. Spend time visualizing your desired financial future, not just the outcome, but the feeling of it. How does it feel to have financial freedom? To live without money worries? To be able to support your loved ones and causes you care about? Embodying that feeling now is key. Generosity from a place of plenty. When you give, do so from a place of feeling that you have more than enough. This is different from giving out of obligation or a desperate hope for return. True generosity flows from a sense of inner richness and abundance. Celebrating others' success. When you genuinely celebrate the success and abundance of others, you are tuning into that same frequency. Envy and resentment create energetic blockages. Appreciation opens the channels. Affirming with presence. Reiterate affirmations about abundance, worthiness, and prosperity regularly. The more you infuse these statements with genuine feeling and conviction, the stronger your abundance frequency becomes. The interplay between worthiness and frequency. Worthiness is the foundation, and abundance frequency is the energy that flows from it. You can't truly vibrate at an abundance frequency if, deep down, you don't feel worthy of it. Conversely, as you consciously cultivate your abundance frequency, it reinforces your sense of worthiness. They are two sides of the same alchemical coin. A micro-anecdote. I once worked with a highly successful entrepreneur who, despite his considerable wealth, constantly felt a gnawing anxiety that it would all disappear. His subconscious was still operating on a frequency of scarcity, born from a childhood of extreme poverty. We focused heavily on the mirror of resonance exercise. Initially, he could barely look himself in the eye and say, "I am worthy." But with consistent practice, week after week, something shifted. The anxiety lessened, and his financial intuition grew sharper. He began to make decisions from a place of calm confidence, not fear. He hadn't suddenly become better at business. He had simply tuned his internal energetic frequency to match the abundance he already possessed, finally allowing himself to receive and hold it without internal sabotage. By actively and consistently cultivating worthiness and tuning into the abundance frequency, you are preparing yourself to become a conscious magnet for prosperity. You are signaling to the universe that you are ready to receive, that you are a match for the wealth and abundance that your spirit desires and deserves. Chapter 8. The Forgiveness Ledger Ritual. Healing. Financial guilt. We've briefly touched upon the forgiveness ledger ritual, but its power in healing financial guilt and shame warrants a deeper dive. This alchemical practice is designed to directly address the energetic wounds left by past financial missteps, inherited beliefs, or societal conditioning. It's a cornerstone of releasing resistance and stepping into a state of deservingness. The core purpose of the forgiveness ledger. The ledger is not about dwelling on the past, nor is it about pretending mistakes didn't happen. It's about 1. Acknowledging the energetic contract. Every financial action or belief carries an energetic imprint. Guilt and shame are heavy imprints that bind us to past patterns. The ledger helps us recognize these imprints. Releasing the judgment. We often judge ourselves harshly for past financial decisions. This judgment creates a cage. Forgiveness is the key that unlocks that cage. Reclaiming your energy. The energy tied up in guilt and shame is energy that could be used for creation and manifestation. This ritual liberates that energy, updating your energetic blueprint by consciously choosing forgiveness. You overwrite old, limiting energetic patterns with new, empowering ones. Step-by-step alchemical process. Preparation is key. Find your sacred space. Choose a quiet, comfortable place where you won't be disturbed. This could be your meditation corner, a cozy chair, or even outdoors in nature. Gather your tools. You'll need a beautiful notebook or journal. This is your ledger, a pen that feels good to write with, and perhaps some candles or calming music to set the mood. Set your intention. Clearly state your intention. For example, I intend to release all financial guilt and shame, and to embrace my inherent worthiness and deservingness of abundance. The opening pages, naming the sins with compassion, brainstorming. Start by writing down every financial situation, belief or action that has caused you guilt or shame. Be as specific as possible. Don't hold back. Think about past debts or financial irresponsibility, impulse purchases that you regret, investment mistakes, feelings of shame about not having enough, guilt about inherited beliefs about money, e.g., money is evil, rich people are greedy, moments you felt you were greedy or selfish with money, any financial decisions that caused harm to yourself or others. Adopt a non-judgmental tone. As you write, try to approach these entries with curiosity rather than harsh self-criticism. Imagine you are a compassionate observer of your past self. For example, instead of, "I was an idiot for buying that car," write, "There was a time I made a financial decision regarding a vehicle that later caused regret, driven by a desire for external validation." Okay. The reframing and forgiveness declaration. This is the alchemical heart of the ritual. For each entry in your ledger, you will reframe it and declare forgiveness. Reframe the narrative. For each entry, ask yourself, what was the underlying belief I held at that time? E.g., I was unworthy, I lacked knowledge, I was seeking something I felt I didn't have. What was I trying to achieve or feel? E.g., security, love, validation, escape. What lesson was this situation teaching me? E.g., the importance of patience, the need for financial education, that true worth comes from within. Write the forgiveness statement. Below each entry and its reframing, write a powerful forgiveness statement. Here are some templates. I forgive myself for situation belief. I understand now that I was acting from underlying belief experience. I release the energetic charge of guilt and shame associated with this. And I choose to embody new belief state, e.g., wisdom, self-compassion, financial freedom. I release the belief that inherited belief about money defined my worth. I now choose to believe that I am inherently worthy and deserving of desired state, e.g., prosperity, peace. I forgive person, situation, if applicable, for any energetic harm caused, and I release myself from the burden of holding on to resentment or judgment. I choose peace and abundance. Fat, the symbolic release ceremony. Choose your method. Once your ledger is complete, it's time for the symbolic release. Burning. Safely burn the pages of your ledger. As the pages turn to ash, visualize the guilt and shame dissolving into light. Burying. Bury the pages in the earth, returning the energy to the natural cycle of transformation. Tearing and releasing. Tear the pages into small pieces and scatter them in the wind or in running water, symbolizing the dispersion of the old energy. Affirmation. During release. As you perform the release, reiterate your intention. I release the past. I embrace my present worthiness. I step into my abundant future. The new energetic contract. Immediate aftermath. After the release ceremony, take a moment to simply breathe and feel the lightness that may have emerged. The new contract. In your ledger on a fresh page, write down your new financial contract with yourself and the universe. This contract is based on your refined understanding and commitment to stewardship, worthiness, and abundance. Use positive, empowering language. Example, I, Elias Vance, enter into a new energetic contract with myself and the universe. I commit to managing my finances with sacred stewardship, guided by the principles of spiritual alignment and conscious contribution. I embrace my inherent worthiness and actively cultivate abundance. I am a magnet for prosperity, integrity, and purposeful wealth, integration, and ongoing practice. The forgiveness ledger ritual is potent, but it's often most effective when integrated into a broader practice. Revisit it periodically, especially if old patterns resurface. This ritual is a powerful tool for transforming the lead of financial guilt into the gold of self-acceptance and empowered abundance. Chapter 9. Aligning spending and saving with soul-aligned priorities. We've now equipped ourselves with the understanding of financial discipline as stewardship. The power of mindfulness, the habits that embody spiritual values, and the tools to heal deep-seated resistance. The next crucial step is to ensure that our actual financial actions, our spending and saving, are in direct alignment with our soul's deepest priorities. This is where theory meets tangible reality, where our inner compass guides our outer financial world. What are soul-aligned priorities? These are not fleeting desires or societal pressures. They are the core values and purposes that resonate with your spirit. They are the things that bring you genuine joy, fulfillment, and a sense of contribution. They might include personal growth and learning, investing in courses, books, or experiences that expand your mind and spirit, contribution and service, supporting causes you believe in, offering your time or resources to help others, health and well-being, prioritizing your physical, mental, and emotional health through conscious choices, creativity and expression, dedicating resources to your artistic pursuits, hobbies, or passions, meaningful connections, nurturing relationships through shared experiences or support, spiritual exploration, investing in practices, retreats or tools that deepen your spiritual connection, creating a sanctuary, making your home a place of peace, comfort and inspiration, aligning your spending. This is where your conscious financial choices become an active manifestation of your soul's desires. It's about moving from reactive spending to intentional investing in your own life and in the world. The why behind every dollar. Before you spend, ask yourself, why am I making this purchase? Does it align with my soul-aligned priorities, or is it driven by impulse, external pressure, or a void I'm trying to fill? 2. Prioritize your values. Gratitude-fueled allocations. When you allocate money in your budget, your energetic map, do so with gratitude for what each category represents in terms of your soul's fulfillment. Soulful Spending Fund. Consider creating a specific category or fund within your budget dedicated to activities or items that directly nurture your soul. This could be for books, art supplies, therapy sessions, or charitable donations. The test of time. For larger, non-essential purchases, employ a waiting period. If the desire persists and remains aligned with your core values after a week or a month, it's more likely to be a soul-aligned choice. Spending as a spiritual practice. View every transaction as an opportunity to practice mindfulness and gratitude. Acknowledge the energetic exchange. Thank the provider. Feel appreciation for what the money is facilitating in your life, aligning your saving. Saving, when aligned with soul purpose, transcends mere financial security. It becomes about creating the capacity for your soul to thrive and contribute. Saving for purpose, not just possession. Instead of saving just to have more money, save with specific soul-aligned purposes in mind. Freedom Fund for impact. Save to have the financial flexibility to contribute to causes you deeply believe in, or to start a venture that serves a higher purpose. Sanctuary Fund. Save to create a living space that truly reflects your spiritual essence, peaceful, inspiring, and conducive to growth. Growth and Learning Fund. Dedicate savings towards expanding your knowledge, skills, or spiritual practice. The power of sacred reserve. Build a financial reserve that provides not just security, but peace of mind. This peace of mind is crucial for creative thinking, spiritual intuition, and the ability to act from a place of calm rather than desperation. It's a tangible representation of your trust in the universe and your own capacity. The synergy of aligned action. When your spending and saving are in alignment with your soul's priorities, a powerful synergy is created, reduced inner conflict. You experience less internal dissonance because your actions reflect your values. Enhanced manifestation. You are energetically attracting outcomes that match your deepest intentions. Greater fulfillment. You derive more joy and meaning from your financial life because it is a direct expression of who you are. Authentic abundance. The abundance you attract feels genuine and sustainable because it is rooted in your true self, not in a pursuit of external validation. A practical exercise. The soul-aligned spending audit at the end of each month. Take 30 minutes to review your spending. For each category, ask, did this spending align with my soul-aligned priorities? How did this expenditure make me feel energetically? What can I adjust next month to bring my spending into even greater alignment? This regular audit is like tending to your financial garden, ensuring that every allocation of energy contributes to the beautiful harvest of a soul-aligned life. By consciously aligning your spending and saving with your deepest priorities, you transform your financial life into a powerful testament to your spiritual journey. Chapter 10. Inspired Action versus Hustle Mindset in Wealth Creation. In the realm of wealth creation, two approaches often clash: the relentless hustle mindset and the potent alchemy of inspired action. The hustle mindset, fueled by urgency, fear, and the belief that constant effort is the only path to success, can leave us feeling drained, anxious, and ultimately disconnected from our true purpose. Inspired action, however, flows from alignment, intuition, and a deep trust in the unfolding of divine timing. Understanding this distinction is crucial for creating wealth that is both sustainable and soul-nourishing. The hustle mindset, a path of resistance. The hustle mindset is characterized by fear-based urgency, the belief that if you don't work constantly, you will fail. There's an underlying fear of scarcity and a desperate need to make it happen. External validation. Success is measured by external achievements, the number of hours worked, the deals closed, the visible signs of busyness, forced effort, pushing through exhaustion, ignoring intuition, and often sacrificing well-being for the sake of relentless output. Focus on doing over being. The emphasis is on constant activity, often disconnected from inner alignment or clarity. Burnout as a badge of honor. The more tired you are, the harder you must be working, right? This is a dangerous myth. While effort is certainly required for any significant endeavor, the quality of that effort matters profoundly. The hustle mindset often leads to frantic energy that repels true abundance. It's like trying to force a flower to bloom by yanking at its petals. You'll likely damage it. Inspired action, the alchemists' flow-inspired action, on the other hand, is movement that arises from a place of inner clarity, intuition, and alignment with your soul's purpose. It's about acting from a place of knowing, rather than pushing from a place of fear. Intuition, driven guidance. Inspired action listens to the subtle nudges of intuition, the gut feelings, the ideas that pop into your mind, seemingly out of nowhere. It's about receiving guidance from the universe. Aligned effort. When you take inspired action, the effort feels natural, often energizing rather than draining. It flows rather than fights. It's about working smarter, not just harder. Divine timing. Inspired action trusts in the unfolding of events. It understands that not everything needs to be forced. There are moments to act and moments to receive, to rest, and to allow. Focus on being and becoming. It emphasizes developing the right mindset, cultivating inner alignment, and embodying the energy of your desired outcome before the external manifestation fully appears. Sustainable creation. Because it's rooted in alignment and trust, inspired action leads to more sustainable, fulfilling, and joyful wealth creation. How to cultivate inspired action. Create space for intuition, meditation, and stillness. Regular meditation. Deep breathing exercises or simply quiet time in nature are essential. These practices quiet the mental chatter and allow your intuition to be heard. Journaling. Regularly write down your thoughts, feelings, and any ideas that arise. Look for recurring themes or gentle nudges. Clarify your soul's purpose. When you know why you are creating wealth, your higher purpose, your contribution, your actions will naturally become more inspired. Your why becomes your guiding star. Listen to the subtle whispers. Pay attention to the aha moments, the synchronicities, the ideas that spark excitement. These are often the seeds of inspired action. Don't dismiss them as mere whims. Take small, aligned steps. Inspired action doesn't always mean massive leaps. It often starts with small, manageable steps that feel aligned. It's about acting on the next right thing, rather than trying to orchestrate the entire symphony at once. Trust the process. This is perhaps the most challenging aspect. Trust that when you act from a place of alignment, the universe will conspire to support you. If something feels forced or wrong, it likely is. Reassess and wait for the next inspired nudge. Embody the outcome. Before the wealth fully materializes, embody the feeling of having it. How does financial freedom feel? How does being able to contribute generously feel? Embodying that feeling now raises your vibrational frequency to match your desired reality. My own experience with inspired action. There was a time I was trying to launch a new program. I was working relentlessly, following every marketing tactic I knew. I was exhausted, and the results were mediocre. Then, I attended a spiritual workshop where the facilitator spoke about divine downloads. That night, I woke up with a crystal-clear vision for the program, a completely different structure, a new title, and a unique offering that felt deeply aligned. It was so simple yet so powerful. I dropped my old plan and followed this inspired direction. The launch was not only easier, but incredibly successful, attracting precisely the clients I'd always wanted to serve. This was the power of inspired action, replacing forced hustle, the alchemist's choice. As alchemists of abundance, we choose flow over friction, alignment over exhaustion. We understand that true wealth creation is a dance between intention, inspired action, and divine timing. By cultivating this approach, we attract not just money, but a life rich in purpose, joy, and sustainable prosperity. Chapter 11. Integrating quantum principles and energetic resonance in discipline. We've moved from the practical to the energetic, understanding that our financial reality is deeply intertwined with our inner state. Now let's elevate our understanding further by integrating principles from quantum physics and the concept of energetic resonance into our practice of financial discipline. This isn't about complex equations. It's about a profound shift in perspective. Understanding that discipline is not just about managing tangible resources, but about consciously shaping the energetic field from which all manifestation arises. Quantum physics, the universe of possibilities. Quantum physics reveals a universe far stranger and more fluid than our everyday experience suggests. Key principles relevant to our financial alchemy include the observer effect. The act of observing can influence the outcome. When we observe our finances with a mindset of lack, we tend to see and create more lack. When we observe with an abundance mindset with a focus on possibilities and growth, we begin to shift our reality. This means that the way you observe your bank account, your investments, and your financial goals is as important as the numbers themselves. Non-locality and entanglement, concepts suggesting that things can be connected regardless of distance. Energetically, this implies that your internal state, your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions, is deeply entangled with your external financial reality. Your inner world is influencing your outer world. Energy and matter are interchangeable. ELMC2. This famous equation highlights that energy can transform into matter, and vice versa. Your financial abundance is not just physical money. It's also the underlying energetic potential that attracts and creates it. Discipline, therefore, becomes about managing and directing this energetic potential. Energetic resonance, the symphony of attraction. Energetic resonance is the principle that like attracts like. You resonate with what you are energetically broadcasting. If your dominant energetic state around money is one of anxiety, struggle, or lack, you will continue to attract experiences and circumstances that resonate with that frequency. Disciplining your energetic output. Financial discipline, when viewed through this lens, is about consciously choosing to resonate with abundance, not struggle. This means emotional alignment, intentionally cultivating feelings of gratitude, joy, and spaciousness rather than fear and pressure. Thought alignment, shifting from limiting thoughts, I can't afford this, to empowering thoughts, how can I align this with my abundance? Belief alignment, identifying and transforming subconscious beliefs that contradict your desire for wealth. Integrating quantum and resonance into financial discipline. How does this translate into practical discipline? It means your discipline must encompass not just your actions, but your energetic output. Observational discipline, the abundance audit. Instead of just reviewing your expenses, consciously observe your financial life from a perspective of growth and possibility. Where is the abundance showing up? What opportunities are present? How can I nurture this growth? Positive focus. Intentionally focus your attention on the positive aspects of your financial situation, no matter how small. This observation strengthens the energetic blueprint for more positivity. Energetic stewardship. Energetic budgeting. Beyond allocating dollars, allocate your energy consciously. When you spend time on financial planning, research, or learning, do so with a clear intention for positive growth, not out of anxious obligation. Emotional regulation for financial health. When strong emotions like fear or frustration arise around money, practice emotional regulation techniques, deep breathing, meditation, to shift your energetic state before making any decisions. You are disciplining your emotional output, resonating with your desired reality, quantum visioning. Spend time visualizing your financial goals, not just as tangible outcomes, but as energetic states. Feel the freedom, the security, the joy. This allows you to resonate with that future now. Pre-earned. Gratitude. Practice gratitude for the abundance you will receive. This is not delusion, but an energetic alignment. By feeling grateful now, you send a powerful signal of readiness to receive. Energetic investment discipline. When you invest, do so with the energetic intention of growth and positive return, understanding that you are not just putting money into a system, but sending out an energetic signal of prosperity. The Alchemist's quantum leap. By understanding that your financial reality is influenced by the quantum realm of possibilities and the energetic resonance you project, your discipline becomes a conscious act of co-creation. It's about aligning your actions, your thoughts, and your emotions to create a powerful energetic magnet for the abundance you seek. This is not just managing money, it's mastering the energetic laws that govern its flow. It's the ultimate act of spiritual financial alchemy. Chapter 12, Reflective Practices. The Mirror of Worth Meditation for Financial Confidence. We've delved deep into the alchemical process, from healing resistance to aligning our actions with our soul. Now we bring these principles into a powerful embodied practice, the Mirror of Worth Meditation for Financial Confidence. This is not just a visualization. It's an energetic recalibration, a direct communion with the part of you that knows its own inherent abundance and worthiness. The power of the mirror. The mirror is a potent symbol. It reflects our external reality, but it also reflects our internal state back to us. When we look into a mirror carrying the weight of financial guilt or shame, we see a reflection of scarcity. But when we approach the mirror with intention, with self-compassion, and with the principles of abundance, it becomes a gateway to transforming our self-perception and consequently our financial reality. The meditation process. Preparation for the ritual. Find your sacred space. As with the forgiveness ledger, find a quiet, private space. Set the atmosphere. Dim the lights, light a candle if it feels right, or play soft ambient music. The goal is to create an atmosphere of peace and reverence. Gather your mirror. Choose a mirror you can comfortably look into. It doesn't need to be large. Even a handheld mirror will suffice. Intention setting. Take a few deep breaths and set your intention. For example, I intend to connect with my inherent worthiness and financial confidence, and to anchor this truth within me. The gaze of acknowledgement. Step to the mirror, stand or sit comfortably facing your reflection. Begin with breath. Take 3 slow, deep breaths, inhaling calm and exhaling any tension or resistance you might feel. The gentle gaze. Slowly, gently meet your own eyes in the mirror. This can feel vulnerable, especially if you carry deep-seated beliefs about your unworthiness. If it feels too intense, start by focusing on your forehead or the space between your eyes. Observe without judgment. Simply observe the reflection. Notice the lines on your face, the expression in your eyes. See yourself with radical acceptance and kindness. If thoughts of criticism arise, acknowledge them as just thoughts and gently return your gaze. The affirmations of worthiness and abundance. This is where we actively reprogram the mirror's reflection with truth. Speak the following affirmations aloud, looking directly into your own eyes. If possible, try to feel the truth of each statement resonating within you. Don't worry if you don't feel it fully at first. Consistency is key. Start with a calming breath. I see myself now. Acknowledge my presence. I'm worthy of love, simply because I exist. I am worthy of peace, ease and joy. I am worthy of financial abundance. My worth is not determined by my bank balance or my achievements. I am deserving of financial freedom. I am open to receiving all the abundance the universe wishes to bestow upon me. My capacity to receive is expanding daily. I trust in my ability to manage resources with wisdom and grace. I'm a powerful creator of my reality, and I choose abundance. I embrace all parts of my financial journey with compassion and understanding. I am financially confident and secure. I'm grateful for the abundance that flows into my life. Thank you, your name, for being you. Thank you for your resilience. Thank you for your spirit. Embodying the reflection. Feel the truth. As you speak the affirmations, try to connect with the feeling behind them. If you say, I am worthy of financial abundance, try to feel that sense of deservingness in your chest, in your solar plexus. Visualize as you affirm your worthiness and abundance. Visualize that worthiness as a radiant light emanating from your heart, filling your entire reflection and then expanding outwards. Imagine this light, clearing any remaining shadows of doubt or guilt. Enter heart, then mirror. Place your hand over your heart. Feel the connection to your inner self. Then place your hands gently on the mirror, feeling the connection between your inner being and your reflected self. The closing and integration. Final breath and gratitude. Take one final deep breath. Offer a silent thank you to yourself, to the universe, and to the process. Release the gaze. Gently break eye contact with your reflection. Carry the feeling. As you step away from the mirror, make an effort to carry that feeling of worthiness and confidence with you into your day. Notice how your interactions with the world, especially your financial interactions, begin to shift. Consistency is the alchemist's secret. This meditation is most potent when practiced consistently. Aim to do it daily, or at least several times a week, especially during periods of financial stress or when facing significant financial decisions. Each time you engage, you are reinforcing your energetic signature of worthiness and confidence, making it easier and more natural for you to attract and hold on to financial abundance. The mirror of worth is your ally, a tool to help you see the magnificent, abundant being you truly are, reflected back at you. Chapter 13. Building lasting wealth with compassion and respect for self. As we approach the culmination of our alchemical journey, it's vital to anchor our understanding of wealth creation in principles that ensure it is not only abundant but also enduring, compassionate and deeply respectful of ourselves. Lasting wealth is not just about accumulation, it's about how we build it, how we use it, and the state of being it fosters. It's about creating a financial life that nourishes your soul, empowers your contributions, and reflects your highest values. wealth beyond numbers, a state of being, true wealth. The kind that lasts is not solely measured by the digits in your bank account. It is a state of being characterized by financial freedom, the ability to make choices aligned with your soul's purpose, without being dictated by financial limitations or fear. Inner peace, a sense of security and calm regarding your financial situation, free from the constant anxiety of scarcity, capacity for contribution, the resources and energy to positively impact others and the world around you. Generational legacy. The ability to pass on not just material wealth, but also wisdom and values to future generations, self-respect and worthiness, knowing your inherent value, independent of your financial status. Compassion in wealth creation. Compassion, when applied to wealth creation, means approaching ourselves and our financial journey with kindness, understanding, and empathy. Self-compassion for past mistakes. As we've emphasized, forgiving yourself for past financial errors is paramount. Recognizing that you were doing the best you could with the knowledge and consciousness you had at the time allows for healing and forward movement. No judgment, only learning and growth. Compassion for others in your financial sphere. This extends to how you treat customers, employees, partners, and even the broader societal impact of your financial activities. Are you operating with integrity? Are you contributing positively? Empathetic giving. When you choose to give, do so from a place of understanding and genuine desire to help, rather than out of obligation or a need for recognition. Respect for self and resources. Respecting yourself means valuing your own well-being, your time, and your energy as precious resources. Respecting your financial resources means treating money with reverence and intention, honoring your energy. Recognize that earning money requires your energy, time, and focus. Ensure your wealth-creating activities are not depleting you to the point of burnout. Sustainable wealth creation requires a balanced approach, intentional allocation. Treat every dollar as a sacred energetic unit. Know where it's going and ensure it's aligned with your values and goals. This respect for your financial resources is a form of self-respect, investing in your well-being. This includes not just physical health, but mental and spiritual health. Investing in practices that support your overall well-being is an act of profound self-respect and is crucial for long-term success. Ethical integrity. Conducting your financial dealings with honesty and transparency is a fundamental act of self-respect and builds trust, which is the foundation of lasting relationships and sustainable wealth. The alchemical blend, compassion, respect, and abundance. Lasting wealth is not built on a foundation of ruthlessness or constant struggle. It is built on a harmonious blend of inspired action, moving forward with purpose and intention, guided by intuition, conscious stewardship, managing resources with wisdom, reverence, and a focus on contribution, unwavering worthiness, knowing you deserve abundance, and acting from that place. Self-compassion, treating yourself with kindness throughout the journey. Ethical integrity, operating with honesty and respect in all dealings. A final thought experiment. Imagine two individuals, both striving for financial success. One is driven by fear, pushes relentlessly, ignores their intuition, and cuts ethical corners. The other is guided by soul-aligned purpose, acts inspiredly, prioritizes their well-being, and treats everyone with compassion and respect. Which one do you believe is building wealth that will truly last, that will bring them inner peace and allow them to make a significant positive impact? The answer is clear. Lasting wealth is a reflection of a well-lived, aligned, and compassionate life. Chapter 14. Embodying financial discipline as spiritual growth, we have journeyed through the intricate landscape of transforming our relationship with money. We've dismantled the myths that pit spirit against substance, embraced alchemy as our guiding metaphor, and learned to practice financial discipline not as restriction, but as sacred stewardship. We've integrated mindfulness, honed practical habits, healed deep wounds of guilt and shame, cultivated worthiness, and learned to act from inspiration rather than hustle. Now the final, most powerful step, embodying all of this as the natural, continuous evolution of our spiritual growth. The ultimate transformation, from managing money to living abundance. The true alchemical achievement is when financial discipline ceases to be a separate task or practice and becomes an intrinsic part of who you are. It's when managing your money, saving consciously, investing wisely, and spending with intention are no longer conscious efforts requiring immense willpower, but rather natural expressions of your aligned, abundant self, from effort to essence. The goal is to move from a state where financial discipline requires constant struggle and mental effort to a state where it flows naturally from your core essence. This happens when your financial actions are so deeply aligned with your soul's priorities and values that they feel effortless, intuitive, and deeply fulfilling. Abundance as a byproduct of alignment. When you are living in alignment with your spiritual truths, when you are operating from a place of worthiness and conscious stewardship, abundance is not something you chase. It is something that naturally flows to you and through you. Your financial success becomes a testament to your spiritual integrity. Discipline as devotion, not duty. The concept of discipline itself transforms. It's no longer a heavy obligation, but a devotional practice, a loving commitment to nurturing your life, your purpose, and your capacity to contribute. It is an act of reverence for the energy of creation and prosperity, integrating the alchemical principles into daily life. To embody this fully, let's revisit the core principles. Stewardship. See all your resources, time, energy, money, as sacred trusts, to be managed with wisdom and purpose for your highest good and the greater good. Mindfulness. Be present in all your financial interactions. Observe your thoughts, emotions, and energetic states without judgment, and gently redirect them towards alignment. Worthiness. Continuously affirm your inherent deservingness of abundance. Practice self-compassion and radical acceptance. Inspired action. Listen to your intuition. Act from a place of clarity and purpose, trusting in divine timing. Healing. Continue to acknowledge and release any lingering patterns of guilt, shame, or resistance, knowing that this is an ongoing process of purification. Alignment. Consistently ensure your spending, saving, and investing are in harmony with your soul's deepest priorities and values. The final alchemy. Money as a spiritual tool. When you embody financial discipline as spiritual growth, money ceases to be a source of anxiety or a symbol of status. It becomes a powerful neutral tool, a spiritual conduit. It's a vehicle for service and contribution, empowering you to support causes you believe in, to help others, and to create positive change in the world. Personal growth and expansion, providing the resources for learning, healing and spiritual exploration, freedom and expression, allowing you to live authentically, pursue your passions, and express your unique gifts to the world. Creating sanctuary, enabling you to build environments that nurture your spirit and soul. A personal reflection. For years, I saw money as a separate entity, something to be earned, managed, and perhaps sometimes feared. It felt like a challenge, a constant negotiation. It wasn't until I truly began to integrate these alchemical principles, to see my financial life as an extension of my spiritual path, that the struggle dissolved. The discipline became devotion. The management became stewardship. The wealth became an expression of my inner abundance and my desire to contribute. It wasn't about acquiring more money. It was about becoming a more aligned, more radiant, and more abundant being. Your ongoing alchemical journey. This audiobook has provided the keys, the map, and the tools. The journey of embodying financial discipline as spiritual growth is a lifelong one. Continue to practice, to reflect, to heal, and to trust the process. Every conscious choice, every moment of mindful interaction with your finances is a step further into the realization of your abundant, spiritually rich life. The greatest wealth you will ever own is the knowledge of who you truly are. This is Elias Vance reminding you, the greatest wealth you will ever own is the knowledge of who you truly are.